Hey there guys, how's it going? It's Afraid and today I've got a lot of things that I want to talk about, and I really don't think that this video is going to be long enough, so I'm going to try and be as brief as I possibly can. In the background you're seeing some Call of Duty Ghost gameplay. It's very old, it's been on my hard drive for a long time, and I'm actually quite surprised I didn't use it. I think it's not a bad gameplay, to be honest. For my standards anyway. But yes, so this week has been E3 week, one of my favourite weeks when it comes to gaming. I said that in my last video, and I predicted, well, not really predicted, but I kind of said some of the things that I'd like to see at E3, and I definitely seen some of the things. Now, number one, the highlight for me so far, and I'm just going to come out with it, was Battlefront. Battlefront just looked absolutely amazing. That's exactly what all of us fans wanted to see. We wanted to see multiplayer, actual gameplay, and that is exactly what we got, and they delivered in perfect style, in my opinion. I've been seeing quite a lot on Twitter and YouTube, a lot of debates going on about, some people think that Microsoft won the E3 press conferences, some people think PlayStation, some people think EA, and I'm just going to give my general thoughts now. By far, in my humble opinion, I personally think that Bethesda stole the show. I thought that their press conference was by far the best, purely because of all the games that they announced. I mean, it is a massive lineup. They had Fallout 4, probably the most anticipated game for most gamers, and they had Dishonored 2, a really good, I mean, Dishonored was great. I mean, Dishonored 2 looked amazing. Obviously a brand new Doom. I think it's a relaunch of the series. I don't think it's like Doom 4 or Doom 5 or anything, but it's a relaunch of the series, a game that many people played in their childhood. They announced some big games. But I do generally think that the general consensus in the community, or the gaming community, was that Microsoft won the E3 press conference war, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, they did come out with some really big announcements, like being backwards compatible. The new controller is basically like a SCUF controller, and I actually said that before they actually released the Xbox One, that I think the controller should be a SCUF controller. I think that's kind of next gen, you know, and also it's got a new stereo port in it, which should have been standard. But yeah, and obviously the games that they announced, I mean, Halo 5 they announced the new Gears of War, Forza Motorsport, and although these are games that I don't really play, I can see why they're so popular. I mean, they defined the 360, you know, the predecessors, they defined the 360 and made 360 what it was with them exclusive games, so I can understand why they announced obviously the sequels to all of them, and for the same reason I can understand why a lot of people think that Microsoft won the E3 press conference war. Although a lot of people probably wouldn't agree with me, I thought EA was pretty strong. I mean, they showed your usual Madden, NFL, FIFA, obviously they show that every single year, and I don't know if they just take the same videos and just repeat it every year, because it looks exactly the same, but obviously Battlefront was a big focus for me, but showing that multiplayer gameplay just got me so excited. I've never felt like that ever since I think the announcement of Modern Warfare 3 at COD Elite, or whatever it was called, COD, I don't know what it was called, but when they actually announced Modern Warfare 3 and showed all the gameplay and that, I was so excited just to play that game. And obviously I know it wasn't obviously what I thought it would be after release and all that, but yeah, I mean, I've got that feeling now with Battlefront that it's going to be huge for me. I'm going to be playing the shit out of that. I really am. And also Need for Speed, it looked like they went back to their roots, which is good. I mean, I don't think I'm the only person who wants to have a Need for Speed Underground 3, because Underground 2 was by far the best racing game that I've ever played on PlayStation 2. The customization, the open world, it was just brilliant, and I really hope that Need for Speed, or the relaunch of the series, is going to go back to that, because if it's not, then I'm not really that interested. But if it is like an Underground 2 with all the customization, which it did look like it, going by the trailer, it looked very much like Underground, so I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot more about that. I think personally that Ubisoft had the weakest press conference, only because of the games that they announced. They're not really the type of games that I tend to play. I mean, that new Ghost Recon game looked really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more on that. I like the look of Assassin's Creed, but I'm not going to hold out too much hope after Unity. And at least the Division's now got a release date, but I'm still yet to see enough of that game to really get excited about it. I thought Sony and PlayStation done really well with their press conference. Now, the biggest announcement, I think by far, now I've never played the series, but Final Fantasy VII, the HD remake. Now, people went crazy when that cut was announced. I was just like, what? Is this actually that good? I mean, I don't know Final Fantasy, but everyone keeps telling me, oh, Final Fantasy VII is the best one in the series, and I kind of got excited for everyone that enjoys Final Fantasy, because I know it's such a big game, it's such a huge game, and when they announced Final Fantasy VII, I actually felt a little bit of joy for the people, you know. I mean, it's probably not a game that I'll get, but it was great to see just a passion in some gamers, you know, when they announce something that everyone, you know, culturally loves. Obviously they announced some Destiny DLC coming out at the end of this year. Really looking forward to that, can't wait to see some more of that. Uncharted 4 looks really good, but yeah, I'm going to be talking about, I think, Call of Duty on my next video, so I'm going to keep that for a lot bigger. I'm going to focus a complete commentary on Call of Duty, just my general thoughts and opinions after E3, because obviously I had my thoughts on the trailer. I've seen a little bit more now, so I can kind of come up with some valid points for and against why you should or shouldn't get the game. So hopefully you'll look forward to that. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a rating. I'm sorry it was very brief and I probably missed out so much that you probably wanted me to talk about, but let me know in the comments and I'll speak to you guys next time. Take care.